Hi guys, the last recording cut off on me. I only got about 10 minutes per session or something like that. Yeah. So here's what I was saying at the last, right before we got cut off. How do we deny deny all the other races that we're mixed with because we have an ounce of Negro blood or African American blood in us? We're black. That's ignorance. Again, and I know I said that previously, but the things that were said back in those days were just words to program you, brainwash you, and put you under their hypnosis. That pretty much tells you that you're defeated any way you look at it. You will be defeated, and that's not true. That's not true. All right, so they had probably, and I don't even think they had more of them. They just had the power because everybody was on their side, and we had to be the slaves, and they had the whips, and they had the horses, and all that other stuff. So that was back then. What are we doing about it today? Are we still feeling inferior? Because I know I'm not. I know I'm not. And who knows? Maybe it's because, again, I'm born and raised here in Newark, New Jersey. My father's American. He's he's from North Newark, Grafton Avenue Projects. My mother is Trinidadian. And I was raised by my mom because I don't know my dad, right? So I wasn't raised with the typical, hearing the typical African American slavery story, because in Trinidad, in the islands, that's not a thing. They took over their countries and their islands years and years and years ago. They just weren't going for that. And who knows, the slave owners in the islands probably didn't have as much as a tight grip on their slaves as, those did in America. That could be a case. That could be a case. Or if they had the same system, those in the islands just weren't taking that. Because again, they all, came from different tribes. So again, I have a different way of seeing it. I've never felt inferior to anybody from any race, nationality, or creed. That's just impossible, because I know God made us all. And here's the kicker. I came from being abused, from being called black and ugly, from having to deal with the harshest of reality because I wasn't light-skinned. And still in all, I'm not inferior. Nobody's superior to me but God, or Allah, or the higher being, or the spiritual being, that spiritual feeling, presence, energy, that's superior over me. Then other than that, I am a God. I am superior over myself. I govern myself. I don't look to what somebody tells me, or how can I say it? I don't look to people who have been trying to beat me down and make me superior for years. I don't look to them for information on how to feel better about myself. I don't do that. Now I'm giving you guys this information because it's time for us to stop this foolishness. It's time for us to stop the foolishness. It's time to reprogram ourselves and get back on the right track. All right? It's time to stop being paranoid and afraid about what they are doing. All right. If they're doing this, then you know what you do? You settle down and you make your moves too. You make your moves too. But you sit back and you complain like you can't do anything about it. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. What are you thinking? That God or the Creator speaks to them personally? They are the only ones that get this wave of information? You think that's the case? Excuse me. Let me tell you what stops us from getting this information. Because we allow ourselves to get confused by the information they put out. We allow ourselves to get hooked on love and basketball. I watch TV from now and then. I'm going to say I watch TV every day, a couple hours of TV every day, but it's what I'm watching. All right, I'm watching the Stocks channel. Definitely on Sunday. I love my own Super Soul Sundays. I love that. I just started watching that beginning of last year. I am, of course, PBS. I have to be informed. Of course, certain news channels, I have to be informed. Now, I watch news, and I understand that many times in news, you get an influx of negativity. But I have, liberty of discernment. So when I see that stuff, it's just, It doesn't even, okay, it pierced my eyes, but then again, I don't let it sink in, because I'm looking for what I need to get in this world. So it's not just that we're watching TV, it's what we're watching on TV. It's what we're listening to, what kind of music we're listening to. It's what type of books are we reading. What kind of information are you seeking? That is what's making you a slave to that so-called Willie Lynch concept. All right? And again, they gave it a name, but it is not the Willie Lynch syndrome, and it's not a Willie Lynch concept. The only what he did was describe physics to us. But I'm gonna tell you something. He's so ignorant. He didn't even know he was describing physics, right? Or maybe he did, because I may have to take that back, because I don't think he wouldn't tell us the truth that it was physics, because if he did, people would rebel and say you can't teach us physics and think that you could rule us off of physics. All right, so scratch that. Let me just say that he described physics to you. Again, I'm going to read physics again just in case you guys forgotten it, because it was on the first recording. But I need you guys to definitely take this with a seriousness. This is information. My delivery, some people may not take to it, and I'm just starting this thing, so bear with me. I'm going to get better with time. But again, physics, the branch of science concerned with the nature and properties of matter and energy. The subject matter of physics, distinguished from that of chemistry and biology, includes mechanics, heat, light and other radiation, sound, electricity, magnetism. That's the one I need you guys to pay attention to. Magnetism, because that's like a magnet. That's what draws and connects us. So it's the magnetism part of physics is what he taught to us, and what he tried to rule, what he ruled our people with years ago with, the magnetism part of physics, and the structure of atoms. All right, pay attention to that. All the other stuff that I read is pertaining to physics when you're talking about science and earth matter, right? So pay attention to it, because it's definitely information that we need. But the magnetism, that part is what I need that to connect with you, because that's what's controlling us. And not me, not us. I'm going to remove myself from that, because I'm not controlled by that. Okay, that's what's controlling our people. That's what make a dark-skinned cameraman choose to say that I'm not great because I'm not speaking in a certain way, or because I wear glasses, because you know what, I left my career and I started things on my own, so I don't have contacts. But it's the magnetism, it's that teaching what made a dark-skinned person who don't love themselves say that I'm not great because I'm not light enough. It makes people show people something that people don't need to see. It teaches people, again, how can I say it? It gives people no hope when we're still enveloped in this way of thinking. I need us to get out of this way of thinking. That's just like, dark colors, if you will. If you don't believe me with human beings, look at colors. What colors are we more drawn to or attracted to? We love light colors. That's why we like the summer, and that's why we like the spring. That's physics. Light draws you in. It invites you in. You get to see everything. Everything is clear. The world and things are not clear in darkness, and we know that. Although dark is beautiful, dark keeps you warm, right? Light lets out the heat, but it draws you in by sight. But the heat, darkness, keeps you warm. And it draws you in a different way, but you're unable to see really what's going on. That's physics. And again, I am able to explain this to you because I am metaphysical. And I'm going to read metaphysical to you. The branch of philosophy that deals with the first principle of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space.